Hello and welcome to this informative session on acute infectious diarrheal diseases and bacterial food poisoning. In this talk, we will explore the causes, mechanisms, symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, and prevention strategies for these common but serious health concerns. Acute infectious diarrheal diseases are a significant global health issue, causing nearly 4.6 billion cases annually. These diseases are the second leading cause of infectious death worldwide, particularly affecting young children under 5 years old. They contribute to malnutrition and weakened immune defenses, increasing the vulnerability to other infections. A wide variety of pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, and parasites, are responsible for these infections. Enteric pathogens use several strategies to evade host defenses and establish infection. These include adhering to the intestinal mucosa, producing toxins that disrupt normal digestion, or directly invading the intestinal tissues. Some organisms require only a small number of infectious units to cause disease, while others need a higher inoculum to establish infection. Now, types of diarrhea: non-inflammatory versus inflammatory. Non-inflammatory diarrhea is typically caused by enterotoxin-producing bacteria like Vibrio cholerae and enterotoxigenic E. coli. This results in profuse watery stools without significant fever or leukocytosis. Inflammatory diarrhea, on the other hand, is caused by invasive bacteria like Shigella, Salmonella, and Campylobacter. This type is associated with fever, abdominal cramps, and bloody stools with leukocytes. Certain bacteria such as Salmonella typhi and Yersinia enterocolitica can penetrate the intestinal mucosa and spread systemically, causing enteric fever. Patients with these infections may present with prolonged fever, leukopenia, hepatosplenomegaly, and relative bradycardia. To establish the infection, the pathogen must adhere to the intestinal wall. For example, Vibrio cholera uses toxin co-regulated villi. Enterotoxigenic E. coli utilizes colonization factor antigens. This attachment is a crucial first step in their disease-causing process. Toxins produced by pathogens have important role in diarrheal diseases. Bacterial toxins can be categorized into three types. Enterotoxins like cholera toxin, which increase intestinal secretion, leading to watery diarrhea. Cytotoxins such as Shiga toxin from Shigella dysenteriae and E. coli O157H7 strain, which cause direct cell damage and hemorrhagic colitis. Neurotoxins produced externally by bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus and Bacillus cereus, leading to rapid onset of food poisoning symptoms. It is not easy for pathogens to infect humans, as our body has several natural defense mechanisms against diarrheal diseases. These include gastric acid, which kills many ingested pathogens; intestinal flora, which competes with the harmful bacteria for nutrients; peristalsis, which helps clear bacteria from the gut. Certain conditions such as low stomach acid or antibiotic use can compromise these defenses and increase infection risk. Secretory IgA and systemic IgG play essential roles in defending against enteric infections. Certain genetic factors may increase susceptibility to infections, such as blood group O individuals being more prone to Vibrio cholerae and E. coli O157H7 strain infections. Now, how to diagnose diarrheal diseases? A thorough patient history, including recent food intake, travel, and antibiotic use, is key in diagnosis. Stool examination can differentiate inflammatory from non-inflammatory diarrhea, while lab testing in the form of culture, antigen detection, and PCR help identify the causative pathogen. Now, what are the common pathogens for foodborne transmission? Preformed toxin producers include Staphylococcus aureus that may grow in meats, poultry, eggs, salads, baked goods, and dairy products, and Bacillus cereus that may contaminate rice, meat, vegetables, and dairy. Both of these cause vomiting within hours of consumption of infected food. Enterotoxin-mediated infection by Vibrio cholerae, enterotoxigenic E. coli that causes watery diarrhea. Invasive bacteria like Salmonella, Shigella, Campylobacter cause dysentery and fever. Now let's see what is traveler's diarrhea and its management. Traveler's diarrhea affects 20 to 50% of travelers. The most common pathogen include enterotoxigenic E. coli, Shigella, and Campylobacter. Preventive measures include consuming safe food and water, while treatment involves hydration and in severe cases antibiotics such as fluoroquinolones or azithromycin. Daycare centers are hotspots for rotavirus, Shigella, and Cryptosporidium infections. Clostridium difficile is a major cause of hospital-acquired diarrhea, especially in antibiotic-treated patients. Now, who are at higher risk for acute infectious diarrhea? Infants, elderly individuals, and immunocompromised patients are more susceptible. Breastfeeding provides passive immunity and reduces the risk of infection in infants. Now, what are the complications after diarrheal diseases? Lactase deficiency that can develop temporarily after enteric infections. Hemolytic uremic syndrome, which is associated with E. coli O157H7 strain infections. Reactive arthritis, seen after infections with Shigella, Salmonella, and Yersinia. GBS, that is linked to infection with Campylobacter jejuni. Now, what are the various diagnostic tests and lab investigations that we can do to diagnose the causative agent of acute infectious diarrhea? First is stool culture, which will identify Salmonella, Shigella, Campylobacter. Toxin assays will detect Clostridium difficile infections. PCR and antigen test identify E. coli, Giardia, and Cryptosporidium. Now, what is the treatment and management strategy? First and most important is oral rehydration therapy that needs to be started as soon as the symptoms appear. Most episodes can be self-limiting provided we replace fluids with ORS adequately. Empirical antibiotics are used for febrile and inflammatory diarrhea only and should not be given in all cases of acute infectious diarrheas. Avoid antimotility drugs in invasive infections because it can slow the clearing of harmful bacteria, cause toxin accumulation, and increase the risk of systemic infection with harmful pathogens. Are there any prevention and vaccination strategies available? Yes. First and foremost is the hygiene, safe food and water handling. Then we have vaccines that are available for rotavirus, Salmonella typhi, and Vibrio cholerae. Probiotics and bismuth subsalicylate may help prevent traveler's diarrhea. To conclude, acute infectious diarrhea remains a global health challenge. Understanding its causes, diagnosis, and treatment is essential for effective management. Prevention through hygiene, vaccination, and responsible antibiotic use is key to reducing its burden. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications of all such new videos.